Oh, I'm sorry. This is Ben, and Ben runs this bus that we're on. And it's an initiative of the Tennessee, of the government of Tennessee, and it goes around to the rural counties. Can you tell us some more about that, Ben?
Sure. So this is part of the Driving Innovation Program, which is a state entrepreneur ECD project, economic community development project. We have 3 units. One is a STEM lab that travels throughout the state. Another is an entrepreneurship bus, so helps entrepreneurs and small businesses. And then we have this third bus, which is the AMP, which is made for placemaking. The mission of all of those units is to serve the distressed and at-risk rural counties inside of the state. There's roughly 55 to 60 inside of the state of Tennessee. And so these buses kind of go end to end, serving those very rural areas and trying to kind of spread somewhat what Marcus was talking about throughout the state, especially to the tier 3 and tier 4.
I should highlight why there are only 95 counties in the state. So when you're saying 55 or 60, you're talking 2/3 of the state doesn't have access to like an any innovation center, right? So what the folks out and you guys are in Jackson, right? That's great. What they're doing is just incredible in terms of reaching places where permanent infrastructure hasn't been developed.
And we're trying to push them into areas where, so there's 7 entrepreneurship centers throughout the state. We're trying to make the rural areas aware of those, because 9 times out of 10, they're within 60 to 100 miles of one of these innovation centers. And so we're just trying to get the word out to rural areas that these centers are there for them as well as us coming to them.
Wow, thank you so much. Are you hearing everyone? Right?
Yeah, here's a 10-point toss-up, Ben. How do we replicate something like that in another state? Because in certain instances, we have, not the advantages that Tennessee has in some of the funding recipients that they've been over the last decade. And Michigan in particularly finds itself in a pretty low position in terms of competitiveness with other states. We're like 45th, 47th, 48th, 49th. And I think this is the kind of thing that becomes that outlier that education's not aware of yet. Any thoughts?
Kudos have to be given to the ECD here in Tennessee. They've really kind of taken an entrepreneurship approach to things, and this is kind of a risky proposition that is working out well for them, but it was a risk, and honestly, kudos to them for a state government entity taking a risk like that. That's pretty
Yes, it is.
Well, we need more of that kind of example in order to change the minds of those who imagine that change is going to happen from the very problem that we've been executing on. So I'm really interested in what you're doing and how you're doing it, as I said yesterday.
This is the second time this unit's actually hit the road. So it's basically brand new. We're still working the bug down on it, but this is the second of it.
Wow. Pretty bug free.
So far.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ben. Anybody else have questions for Ben on the phone or anyone? Okay.
Annalie, do you have any thoughts about how, I know you had, and we had talked about this before, about how we might bring something from Oakland University and the value that the university represents to the equation in the city of Pontiac. And this is the kind of thing, I believe, that could be somewhat of a focus element for what you were describing as a value-added program.
Yes, I've participated in the OU Pontiac initiatives. I've attended a few of their meetings, and there are exciting things that are happening, but I just thought that I have to focus on how I might be able to get students excited about partnering with Pontiac directly. They engage in a whole lot of activities and volunteer activities in different areas, but I haven't heard of any project really specific to directly with the Pontiac initiative. There might be some programs or projects that I don't know, but I have been exploring how we might be able to um, get some approval with Oakland University in such a way that it's not just a kind of a one-time, twice, two times a semester kind of visit in Pontiac, but um, uh, literally trying to situate a more organized kind of a formal arrangement between Pontiac, specifically with Monica and Jim, and with us, my students, or with me. And so, how is that going to be like? Is still in the making. I'm still exploring with some of the key representative at Oakland U on how we might do this. But at this point, I encourage students to bring out their ideas and how they feel about the city and what might they would be able to contribute. One of the projects, like I mentioned earlier, one of the projects that we did was to conduct a cultural landscape analysis. And I don't know if I can show you one of the students' product or project. I don't know how I might be able to share this. Let me see. Do you want me to share this with you? I have another screen here in my computer, and see if you'll be able to see this.
You just have it for the host to only share, but you can send me an email and I can upload it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I'll do that. Anyways, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, just exploring how we might be able to come up with more of a formal arrangement, since I cannot just usher the students without the university's sort of approval. Even with a field trip, we have to sign papers, so that, kind of a protection for the university, so that they're not going to be liable in case something, God forbid, happens to us, 10 minutes away from Oakland University campus. So there are more to talk about, hopefully when you come back, Monica, and give you an update on what I'm doing with the university.
Wonderful.
And yeah.
In some cases, what others are doing in other places have value in leverage, particularly in a digital format, that require a streamlining, if you will, of efforts and funding. So it may be that we can find some ways in which to optimize that in terms of replication.
Yep. Possible, but there are definitely some ropes to kind of uncover, and that's what I'm trying to do right now.
We understand. We've been working with that effort on behalf of Oakland University for 5 years, so we know the deep underplate there, and well, as well, we've had those kinds of conversations with some of the deans, DiMaggio and a couple of others, and maybe the timing's getting better now that we have no litigation on the Phoenix Center. So we might find that as being a catalyst for what is necessary to really move the Phoenix Center into some kind of focus that delivers on behalf of the community.
Yeah. I agree.
Great, thank you. We still have some participants here that we haven't got to.
Terrific.